Another session of SQL. My name is Godwin Sabute, and I'll be taking you on another round of SQL session. Can somebody remind us where we stopped the last time? Did we get to load? I think we loaded some data, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is everybody current with that? Is everybody current with that data set? How many data sets did we load?
I think we loaded two data sets.
Are you sure?
Or was it just one?
Is it all three?
Yeah, it was three, but did you work on the whole three? Not sure.
No, we've not done work on any of them. We only loaded.
Oh,
We haven't worked on any at all. Okay, so let me see. Wayne, share your screen. Let me see what you have. Who just spoke? Is it Wayne? Let me
no.
see what you have on your SSMS. If we can all open our SSMS, let's see what we have. And then somebody should share so that we see where we are at. I just want to make sure that when it's time for us to use, we have the data sets to use. Somebody hasn't finished.
That's me. It's just been rolling like this for a while now.
Okay, cancel it and then go back and then do it again. Who is that Wayne or who is that? Is that Wayne?
OM. Yes, please.
Your this thing is quite small. Can you enlarge your screen a bit?
I'm sharing my whole screen.
Are you?
Yes. Where can't you see on the screen?
The lettering is quite small.
Oh, okay.
So okay, now what you need to do is open click on new query. Up. Yep, click on that. Okay, and then come down your workbench. Come down all the way down. All the way down. 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 You see 100%. There's a trickle arrow by the 100%. Click on it. Take it to 150. It is still very small.
Yes, it is.
Why is that?
It's just how it is here. I don't is there any way I can edit the
No, you can't do anything. Okay, first of all, connect. Let's see. Connect. Click on the connect tab here. And then database engine. Yeah. Okay, not to worry. And you say this is the full screen, right?
Yes, well, from my end, and I'm sharing my full screen.
Okay, so let me see Chicago crime. Click on the plus sign before Chicago. Okay, you've clicked on it already.
Yes.
Click table. Do you have anything in your table? You have already clicked on table. So you have nothing at all under your Chicago crime, which means that you haven't loaded anything. Okay, has somebody loaded something at all?
Mine is just like that as well. I have Chicago crime, but nothing on the table.
Nothing in the tables. Okay. Anyone?
I've loaded mine. I'm using my phone. I'm logging into my laptop and I'll share my screen.
Okay, how long will that take?
Not long at all. I'm
Okay,
just using I was just using my phone so that I can focus on looking at the phone and the laptop at the same time.
okay. How about Larry? Larry, where are you at? Oga Larry. Oga Larry. Ijeoma, where are you at?
I've loaded the
Okay,
three.
this is Catherine sharing now.
Okay, Catherine, let's see what you
Mom
have.
is in class. Mom is in class. Thank you,
Okay,
darling.
so Catherine has actually loaded all three, which is brilliant. That's very good. Has everybody got the data set?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So do you want us to go through? I think you should we're just going to repeat this. So I actually wanted to start. We haven't started yet. We haven't started anything yet. I wanted us to start something today, but
Yeah, my apologies. I just clicked on it. I've loaded all three as well.
you've loaded all three. Okay, cool. That's good.
Please, how can I share my screen so you can walk me through the loading?
Yes, yes, please share your screen. Have you loaded the AdventureWorks? Everybody has loaded AdventureWorks, right? Yeah, we can actually even use AdventureWorks. Click. Okay, you are already within your Chicago crime. Let's see. Have you connected? Connect first. Connect. Okay, you've got connect database engine. Okay, now go to Chicago crime. Well, first of all, where are those where are the data sets I sent to you? Where did you
They are my documents.
Okay, fine. Okay, you know exactly where they are, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. Now right click on Chicago crime and then go to tasks up, then come down to import flat file and then go next and then browse to where your data set is. Pick any one of them, any one at all, and then load. And then click on next. And then next. And then this is where we set the parameters. So make ID primary key. And then are there any nulls? Let's see. Okay, go next. If we have to change it to null, it will let us know. And then click on finish. Let's see what happens. In progress.
This is where I was when
Are you sure you have memory?
I have memory.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And when I say memory, I mean RAM. I'm not talking about ROM.
I do have. Let me just.
Maybe you've opened too many things. You are using up your memory, your temporary memory.
Is that why it could be that slow?
Yeah, if your RAM is used up, it will be very slow. So maybe you have a lot of things opened up, and that those things are still running in the background. You get?
Yes.
So it's eating up your RAM.
I'll just close everything.
So maybe you need to close a few things, and
I've closed all the browsers.
Okay. So let's retry. Go back.
Should I cancel this?
Yeah, cancel it and let's start from the beginning. Let's start afresh. Have you stopped recording? Yeah.
No, let me stop.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. You can leave it.
Okay.
Select another data set. Let's see another one. Yep. Go next.
I just clicked it.
Okay.
Wow, it's so slow.
I am sure you have a lot in the background. Or it's possible too that you're okay. And uncheck the hold it. Hold it there. Let's see something. Community area number. So uncheck allow against the community area number. And check primary key for that. Yep. Now go next and let's see if it would finish. Let's see. Okay, click on the arrow. Let's see what it says.
Does not allow dbnull.value.
Which community area number, right?
Yes.
Okay, click on OK. Can somebody remind us which one did we make the primary key the last time? Go
The
back.
integer.
The what?
The per capita income, the integer.
I don't. Are you sure? Go back. No, we can't make that the primary key. That can't be a primary key. Who has loaded this? Is it Wayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wayne
Okay,
said.
UM.
Yeah, stop.
Is it UM sharing? Stop
Yeah.
sharing. Wayne, share yours. Let's see what you chose as primary key there.
Okay, one sec.
Okay. Which data set did we try to load just now? Is it the crime or the census or public schools? Which one?
We tried the crime first, then we now used census.
Census. Okay. Now, Wayne, kindly click on the plus sign by the. Yeah, click on the plus sign by that database. Yeah, and then go into columns. Okay, expand that window. Move it to your right. Yep. So community area number is not the primary key. Which one is the primary key there? You use per capita income as primary key. Per capita income can't be primary key. It's not unique, is it? It can't be a unique figure.
It was the one that was giving me the least errors.
You chose the area of least resistance.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Area of least resistance, but I don't think that is correct. One moment, let me see something. Pause the recording. Let me just check something first on my side. I'm trying to load this. We'll spend some time each time to continue with the loading, okay? Everybody will get the data set at some point. But you can also try to see, a few of you have been able to load, so we should be able to load also. Right, so let me share my screen with you. Let me share my screen with you. Can you see my screen?
It's loading.
Is it?
Yes. Yes, we can see it now.
Okay. Can you see this now?
Yes, please.
Okay. I have already connected, so there's no point for. Can you see? Is it as small as 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶 one or a little bit larger? Can somebody help me? I can see.
I think it's larger.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, cool. Right. So we said that the SQL statements follow a specific structure, right? Starting with the query structure. They follow a specific format, starting with the select keyword. So what are the various forms of this select keyword? Before you even go on to run any query at all, you must select the database that you want to query. If you don't select the database, what is going to happen is that you will see that your queries have been indicated to be errors, when in fact you would have written the right queries. But because you haven't selected the correct database, it would seem like it's an error. Let's for example say we have let's see Wait, let me close this and open another one. Okay. So when you open your database in the beginning, it defaults to this data set. It defaults to the master. Now the master is a system database, and that is not what you want to use. So you should always come here and select the database that you want to use. So now, for example, if we want to use AdventureWorks, I come here and then I click on AdventureWorks and it gets into AdventureWorks. The other option is to write this command, use AdventureWorks. Use AdventureWorks, okay? So it's either this or that. And then once you write this, you have to execute for it to be, you see that it says command completed successfully, which means that I have indicated to the system that this is the database I want to use. If perchance I want to change the database, then I can write another command, a similar command, execute it to change it, or I can come here and change it here, depending on which one I want to use, right? If I want to use crime database, I come here and I select it. And so here now, I've come out of AdventureWorks database. I'm now in the crime database. Okay, so you need to be able to navigate your way around the database. And then, so if I execute this one now, chances are that it might, oh, okay, it's still pointing to this at this point. Okay, you see that it has changed immediately. When I executed this, it changed immediately. The database I chose here got switched. But if I had not executed it, then that would have been the database within which we will be working. Right. Okay, so this is what we have. Now, what do we want to do? If I say, for example, I want to run the select command. Personally, I like to write my keywords in capital. Like we all know, SQL is what? Is case insensitive. So this select here that I've written, I could have as well written it in small case, in lower case. But I personally, as a personal preference, I like to write my keywords in caps. So first of all, let us do something. Let's do something. Let's not even go this way first. Let's do something. Okay. No, that's not what I want. Okay, I get it. Assuming I want to work with this database, I want this database, right? Assuming this is what I want. Now, there are a number of options that I can execute this command. At this point in time, I didn't write any query. I prompted the system to write everything for me. I didn't do anything. And the query was written by the system and executed by the system. Now, the reason why I just did that, which is not a good practice, is to just see what columns are there. Right? To just see what columns are there. So I'm now working in the, which column is that? In the customer. Which database did we use? Customer. We use the dim customer. We use this database. Or we use this table rather. Right. We use the dim customer, dimensional customer table. Now, what I have basically done here is to ask the system to produce the first 1,000 rows of the data. Now, normally you wouldn't be running a query like this. So let's go back into what we were trying to do. select. What we can do is to select each column within that table. You just saw the various columns. Where is it? You just saw the various columns: customer key, geography key, customer alternate key, first name, middle name, last name style, date of birth, marital status, suffix, gender, email, blah, 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 blah. A whole lot of stuff, right? A whole lot of stuff. Now, sometimes you do require to produce all the columns, all, in which case you will need to specify each column within the select command. Now, there are a number of ways of doing this. You can either specify each column as is written here. So in this particular case, each column within the table has been named in the select statement. So select customer key, you see customer key here, geography key, customer alternate key, title, first name, middle name, last name, name style, birth date, marital, and it continues like that. But is this an effective way? Is this an efficient way of doing things? If you ask me, if you have like 100 columns, are you going to be writing out all these 100 columns one by one? That is a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of time. So, how do we write a more efficient query? How do we write a more efficient query? Okay. So like I said, if you want to select all columns, you can take your time or waste your time, whichever way you want to look at it. You can either actually take your time if there aren't too many columns. But if you have like if you have like 100 columns. In fact, somebody sent me a data set today. That data set has got 209 columns. Let me see if I can get it to show you. Where did I load? Where did I download this? It's maybe it's in the download folder. Download. No, it's not here. Where did I save it? Okay, not to worry. I'll at some point get it and then show you. But what I'm trying to say simply is that that data set has got 209 columns. 209. So if you are going to write all 209 columns, you can imagine how long that will take. So what is the way out? Select This is the way to select all the columns. Select star from, and then you have to specify the table that you want to select from. Now, what table did we just use? This one here. So we used dim customer. Now look at the query that the system wrote. Look at the query that the system wrote, choosing all the columns. And this is what we have written to choose all the columns, which is more efficient. I am sure you will tell me that this one here is more efficient. Now, if we execute this, we would get exactly what we have here. Mind you, this one we said it should select just the top 1,000. So it has returned 1,000. This might even give us more. Let's just run that query and see what we will have. So this is what we have. Wow, 18,000 rows. It has returned 18,000 rows. 18,000 rows of data. That is what this has returned. You get. So this is one way to select all. This star here is all. Select all. And you see, even when you highlight on the star, it lists all the columns. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is one way. So select star simply means select all columns. Alternatively, you can specify specific columns. So select where, in which case, for example, your manager has asked you, Wayne, can you just give me the first name, last name, and first name, last name, and maybe phone number of our customers. I want to contact them. Give me their first name, last name, and phone number. So what we want first name, last name. So let's first name. You have to write. Remember, you have these are called literals or user-defined words. So they have to be written exactly the same as they are specified within the table. Okay, first name. You see that it's all written as one word. There is no underscore or hyphen. So we want to select first name. So select first name, comma, last name, from, dim customer. Okay, phone number. Phone number. How is phone number written? Is it written as one word or how is it written? Phone. You see, it's written as phone. So let's run this query and see how that is going to work. So this is what we have. This is what we have now. We have restricted the number of columns. as per what we want, right? Not just everything. So this is as per what we want. Okay. Another one of the selects here, the very first query we run, you see it says select top 1,000. Why is that restriction there? Why did they not say 1 million? Why have they restricted it to 1,000? Why did they not say, why did they not just leave it as all? Who can tell me why? Somebody, I want somebody. I told you that this class would have to be interactive. So somebody to tell me why.
Is it because it only displays 1,000 records?
Yeah, this command here, with this command, we have told you to display only 1,000. But why is it that the system has deliberately restricted the output to 1,000? Why did it not allow for everything to be produced?
I think you said that SQL, the system displays 1,000 rows.
No. When we run this query, it produced 18,000 rows.
Okay.
See this query. Let's run this query again. 18,000 and something. You will see the number of rows down here. Can you see it's coming up? Don't worry, to come up in a bit. 18,484. Can you see it?
Yes.
So why is it that the system has intention? So this is actually a restriction by the system. It's a deliberate restriction by the system. Why is that? Has anybody got an idea why? Why must the number of rows be restricted? Okay, let me ask you a different question. Assuming you are employed by Facebook or Google or TikTok. Okay, let me before I go to that, before I go to my main question, who can tell us how many people are on Facebook now? How many people in the world use Facebook? Can somebody guess?
Oh, 2 billion.
2 billion, are you sure? Please Google it and let me have something. I'm sure it's more than 2 billion.
4 billion.
Just Google it. Don't worry. Just Google that and tell me. I'm also on it. I'm going to Google that. How many Facebook users are in the world?
$3.7 billion active users worldwide.
So, yeah. As at Q4 of 20, the person who just gave us an answer, what's your reference date?
Q4 2024.
Okay, Q4 2024. So that's even more current. Okay, so it's what?
3.7 billion.
Okay, 3.7 billion active users. And that's Q4 2024. So that data is actually how many months old? It is outdated as we speak. That data is outdated. I'm sure by now it's hits maybe 4 billion. I'm sure it's hit 4 billion, right? So assuming you are employed by Facebook to work on their data set,
As of April 2025, is 5.31 billion.
Okay, April 2025, 5 point something billion. Do you see the number of rows of data that you're going to be producing? You'll be facing exactly the same thing that Owen was facing when his data couldn't load. Why? Because there will be things holding your computing memory. Now, so if you go and run this kind of query, if you go and run this, if you blindly run this kind of query on a data set that you have never seen, you have never used, you are likely, if it's a huge data set, you are likely to be in trouble. If it is a data set of, let's say, Google, Facebook, even Amazon or TikTok, you run this kind of query on their customers, because they have so many customers, you would use computing memory such that the whole organization could possibly come to a standstill. Nothing would work. And then you will be wondering what you've done wrong. So it is not advisable when you go into an organization and you have no idea what is in the database. You have no idea how many rows of data you have. It is not correct. It would not be a good idea to run this type of query. Of course, if you know the kind of data you have and you know it's not so huge, you can comfortably run this kind of query. Now, that's one of the reasons why this has been restricted to 1,000. So this is actually a deliberate restriction by the system. You can change this if you want, but the system has limited it to 1,000. Okay. So how do we now do this? If we are employed by Google, for example, what should we do when we are presented with a database to work with? If you are employed by Facebook or any organization for that matter, and you are going to query the database for the very first time, what should you do? What should you do?
Check how big the database is.
How do you do that?
You count.
Hmm?
You count.
You need what?
You count the records.
How do you count? If you have 1 million, how will you count that?
You write a command to count the number of records. Just so you know.
Okay. Okay, somebody has gone ahead of us. Somebody has gone ahead of us. Somebody has gone ahead of us, but that is also not an effective way of actually doing it. That's correct though. You can count to see, but I wouldn't be counting. What I would just do, select the top 10 or top 20 or top 1,000. That is what this is. Select top. So this is selecting the top 1,000, right? Selecting the top 1,000. I can decide to select top 10, top 100 of everything. The number of columns could be large, but would not be, you wouldn't get a situation where you have 1 million columns of data. but you can get 1 billion rows of data. Right? For example, I just mentioned that somebody sent a data set that had got, okay, I actually downloaded, I put it was on my phone. I looked at it on my phone. That's why it's not on my laptop. Okay, next time I would export it to my laptop and to my email, and then, or did I put it in my email? I don't think so. No. So select top 10. And what table are we using? This is the table we are using. Select top 10. And this is the most effective and efficient way. This way, now, the whole thing about the data, you are not so much interested in the number of rows. No. You want to see what is within the database. And what is it that will tell you what is within the database? The attributes. The attributes. Remember, we mentioned attributes. The fields, the attributes, the columns, they mean the same thing. So in this database, it is the attributes that describe what is inside the database. It is the fields, it is the columns. The description of the things within the columns and the fields or the attributes give us an idea of what the database is all about. So for example, here we have customer key. That one is taken. Geography key, okay. But we have called title. So these are title, first name. Now we are getting a sense of what is within the database. We are now knowing that this is a database about people. Their birth date, marital status, email address. We are now getting some information about the people. Their yearly income, number of children at home. We are now diving into their life. Education that they've had. You get. So whilst the if we have too many rows and we run a select all, this is read as select all. This here is read as select all. If we run a select all query, it will just reproduce everything within the database. And that was the query I run, and then we had 18,000. So imagine if there were 1 billion rows of data, it would have attempted to produce 1 billion rows. And that could have actually shut down my laptop. Right, so let's see what would happen if we run this. Who can tell us what is going to happen? Who can tell us what is going to happen?
It will show the top 10.
Beautiful. We will just have the top 10. We will just have the top 10. So take note. We are going to have from where? We are going to have from Young to Carlson. That's all we would have. But here we have a lot. We have everybody there. Everybody. So let's execute this and see what we have. Do we have more than 10? You see, it has produced only 10 rows. 10. 10. Can you see that?
Yes.
So when you go freshly into, when you start with a company, a business, and you want to query the database for the very first time, never ever run a select all query unless you have been told specifically that is a small data set. But even that, don't trust somebody's word unless they have given you that in writing, right? So what you would do is restrict the number of rows. So that way you have an idea. It gives you the same idea of what is within the database as if you were to run this. It gives you the same. Look at the columns, look at the attributes. The attributes have not changed. We have the same attributes when we run 10 and when we run all. We run all now, I'm running all. How long did that take to finish executing? Did somebody see that?
4 seconds.
4 seconds.
Yes.
4 seconds. Okay. Any change in the attributes?
No.
No. If we run this, see how long this one will take. How many seconds did that take?
Less than a second.
Less than a second. Less than a second. So if you have 4 billion rows of data, I mean, you can do the maths. We had 18,000 and it took 4 seconds. So if you have even 1 billion or 4 billion, you can do the maths and see how long that is going to take to run. Right? I'm sure maybe it will run for a whole day. Okay, so you go into an organization for the first time, restrict the number of rows of the output because it will give you the same information. Restrict the number of rows, not necessarily the number of columns. If you want to restrict the number of columns, in fact, you even the very first time, you even don't know what columns there are. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Now, we were only able to restrict the columns because we knew what was in the columns. We had gotten some information about the attributes. You see, I'm using these words interchangeably so that you get you familiarize yourself with the words. They mean the same thing. Attributes, column, fields. They mean exact same thing. Right. So we were able to run this query successfully simply because we knew exactly what attributes that there are in the database. If, for example, we didn't know and I had gone ahead and I had written first name as this, let's see what is going to happen. If I write first name as this, let's just see what is going to happen. What has happened? Invalid column name. First name. I have misspelled the name. I haven't written it exactly as it is in the database. So the system is confused. The system has rejected the command because this name does not exist here. This is how it is written, not that. So user-defined names, remember, the name must be spelled the exact same way as it is in the database. Okay? So we can also at the same time do top 5, top 10, top 100. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all.
Someone's got their hands up.
Now, this syntax of right of selection and let me leave space. Somebody wanted to say something. You can go ahead, please.
Godwin, please, the star or asterisk that is on top of 10, when you wrote select top 10, what is it for?
Can somebody tell us what it is for?
Select all.
Select 10 rows of all columns.
Okay.
Select 10 rows, select all columns. This here is, and it's calling all the columns. But here we are asking it to restrict itself to just 10 rows, top 10. Select top 10 of all columns, okay?
Sorry.
So this syntax, pardon?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, just before you move on, the first command you wrote that selected all the columns, how did you write that again?
I didn't write it. I just selected it from the system. I just asked the system to do it.
Yeah, so it was top 10, 1,000, but that's 1,000 records from top 10, 1,000.
Yeah, so this one selected the 1,000 of all. So you see that instead of all, it has listed all the columns.
Yeah.
Instead of using the all command, that's another option. Instead of using the all, which is the star, remember I told you which one is more effective or efficient, right? Which one is more efficient? So this statement here and that statement are exactly the same thing.
But did you actually write customer key like because I can see select top 1,000.
Yep.
What else did you write for it?
I didn't write anything. I only asked the system to write it.
Because I tried that and I'm getting errors.
Okay, let's share your screen. Let's see what you did.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing. Oh wow, how come I've are we on Teams or Zoom? Can you see my screen?
Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're on Zoom.
Okay, let me stop sharing and then you share. Is it Uwem?
No, it's Wayne.
Is it Wayne? Okay, Wayne, share your screen. Let's see what you are trying to do. So what are you trying to do, Wayne?
So I'm just trying to get the system to list out, like initially you said that you could get it to
so
write.
How are you doing that?
So select top.
No, you are right. You are writing the query. You are not. The system is not writing. The system is not doing. You are the one doing it.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was asking.
Let me tell you what to do. Open the tables under Adventure Webs.
Okay.
Tables. Then you've closed it. Open up the tables. Go to the plus sign by tables.
Yeah.
And open that up. Okay, now you see where it says dbo.dim customer?
Yeah.
Okay. Click on that. Dim customer. That's what we used.
Okay, dim customer.
Yeah. Right click. Select, come down the third row, select top. Yeah. Select that.
Okay. I missed that part. So I thought you wrote it. And I've just been struggling to recreate it. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay, so stop sharing so that we can continue. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so where did we stop? Where was I? Yeah, I said this syntax works with SSMS. Remember, I said the SQL statement is portable, which means that this statement we have written here, we can take it into another system, another database management system, and it might work. But there are a few exceptions where the statements don't work as expected. There are a few exceptions. So sometimes you need to tweak your query slightly for different database management systems. Right, so for this in particular, if we want to write this for let's say MySQL, let's assume we want to use this in MySQL. It wouldn't be this. It will just be select all from dim employee, dim customer, and then limit limit 10. Now, because I'm writing this in SSMS, it has thrown an error. But in reality, this is not an error, okay? Because I'm writing this in SSMS, SSMS does not understand this language.
So which tool understands this language?
MySQL, my SQL.
My SQL, is it like SMS, like this very one?
Yeah, it's another database. It's another database management
studio. Okay.
Yeah, system. So let me just comment this out. Yeah, this works. MySQL. And let's also look at another one. There's also Oracle. Oracle is also almost similar. Select all from, but instead of limits, Oracle would say fetch. Let me write it in. Fetch first 10 number rows. That is getting long, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very long.
Oracle, this is the command that Oracle would take. Right? So there are the language is the same, but there are slight differences depending on the management studio management system that you are using. So for example, you would see that I wrote this statement, and then I came and I wrote that statement, and it looks okay. It looks okay. But if I do the same thing in my SQL, it will throw an error. in my SQL, after each code, after each block of code, you must put a semicolon. You can do the same thing with MySQL and it wouldn't complain. You can put a semicolon, but without the semicolon in SSMS, it will still work. But without a semicolon in my SQL, it would scream. Without a semicolon in my SQL, it will scream. So this is my SQL. If you can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. This is my SQL. After each code block, you must put a semicolon. Otherwise, the system would scream, would complain. Okay. And you see, select data from limits. So here's limits. Do you see how the limit statement is here? If I was doing this in SSMS, it would be select top 2 all. Yeah.
So you have to learn all these languages.
Well, it's just, the point is the language is the same. It is the syntax. When you start using it, the syntaxes, the slight differences in syntax is what you have to master.
Okay.
We are not going to do MySQL anyway, not MySQL. We are not going to, MySQL is not part of, we don't have time to do both. If we have time, of course, yes, I can introduce you to it, but I don't think we would have time. Oops, my battery is low. Wait, hold on. Let me get my charger. Business. Okay, so let's see something else. So this is the first query type. This is the first query type that, let me make this just one, not one here. The first type of query. One. The second type of query that we want to look at the word distinct. The word distinct. Let me see a database that I can use. Let me see what database I can use. Okay. My system is complaining. OM, is it OM?
Yes.
I'm facing your kind of problem now.
Wow. It's good to know I'm not alone.
I'm facing your kind of problem now.